How's it going, everyone? I hope you're having a great day, because today we have a very satisfying story of a McDonald's worker that gets revenge on the Karen that's basically been torturing her every single day that she's worked at the job. So yeah, sit back, relax, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's call the subscriber who submitted this story Sarah. So anyways, Sarah works at McDonald's, and she works both, the cash register and the window cash register. Sometimes those are two different people, but Sarah, kind of alternates between the two. And ever since the first day she started working there, this woman would come there every single day at 9 in the morning to get her breakfast, right? And the thing is, right, she was warned on the first day by the other staff. Like on the first day, Sarah got there. She wasn't like necessarily excited, but she was very interested in like all the ins and outs of what she'll need to be doing. And one of, another worker there who's been there for a while kind of took Sarah under her wing and said, hey, like, there's nothing really you need to, there's not that much I need to tell you, except there's this woman, we call her Karen, and also she'll be called Karen for the rest of this video. We call her Karen. She comes here every day. She's the worst customer ever. You just have to deal with her, and as long as you deal with her, and most of the time, the rest of your day will be smooth. Like, if you just deal with her and deal with her nonsense for the 10 minutes it takes per day, you will have a smooth rest of your day. So at this point, Sarah's a little bit worried about who this Karen's going to be, and sure enough, on her first day, she doesn't encounter her on the first day because, someone else happened to have that shift. But sure enough, the second day she gets in, it's 9 a.m. or it's like 9:03 or something, and this woman pulls up to the drive-thru, and she's like, ahem, and, Sarah's like, hello, ma'am, like, what would you like today? And she's like, I would like the regular. And Sarah's like, ma'am, I don't know what that is. She's like, how do you not know what my regular is? I come here every single day. And this is when Sarah starts to realize, oh my God, this is the Karen that I've been warned about. And the Karen goes on to say, this is the thing I get every single day. I come here every day and I ask for the same thing and you guys can't even get it right. This is ridiculous. And that's when the person who was kind of shadowing, or Sarah was shadowing, comes and like quickly, and it's like, oh, hello, ma'am. Good morning. We'll get the regular for you. Sorry, the person on duty is new. And she's like, doesn't matter if she's new, you should have told her what I wanted. And, the person's like, yes, I'm sorry, ma'am. Like, we'll have that ready for you right away. And Sarah's like, what? And, the person's like, I forgot to tell you, the Karen gets the same thing every single day. It's like 2 Egg McMuffins or whatever and a drink. I don't know. I really don't. We'll make something up. So sure enough, that order's put through, and, so the Sarah, gets it and goes to the drive-thru window and is like, hello, ma'am, how would you like to pay? And the Karen's like, what do you mean, how would I like to pay? You know how I like to pay. Once again, Sarah's new, and she's like, I'm new here. And they're like, they didn't tell you that I give you my Visa card? Oh my God. Like, this establishment, this customer service here gets a 1 out of 10. Thankfully, McDonald's makes good food, so I come here every day, and this is the closest one near me. If there was a closer McDonald's near me, trust me, I would be going to that one in a heartbeat. And, Sarah's kind of just like, okay. She's like, okay, I'll give you, just give me the card. And, Karen hands over the card. She swipes it, hands over the food. And the Karen's like, just so you know, I selected no tip. And because there's that little pad thing or whatever, the iPad thing that you can choose whatever tip. And Sarah's like, okay. And Karen's like, I just want to know that my tip reflects the customer service. And today, the customer service is a 0%, aka no tip for you. And the Karen drives away. And that's when the person that was kind of like Sarah's mentor at McDonald's or whatever comes over and says, see, look, that wasn't pleasant or anything, but, once you kind of get the flow of it, what to order. She says, I want the regular. You put it in, you give it to her, you just take her card. She selects the lowest. She normally puts in a custom amount for the tip of 3% or something, or she just chooses no tip most of the time. Look, she sucks, but she's here every single day, and we can't do anything. We can't do much about it. I don't think the manager would, turn her away if she comes here every single day. So Sarah just kind of thought that, okay, whatever. Fine, it's okay. It's going to be like this. She'll come through the drive-thru. But the thing is, right, the Karen didn't just go through the drive-thru. The Karen would, on some days, come in and eat inside the restaurant. So it depended if she wanted to drive back home and eat or if she wanted to eat inside the restaurant. So a couple days later, Sarah's manning the front cash register, like the one that's attached to the restaurant. You come in, you order there. And that's when, a very familiar woman walks through the door. And that's when Sarah realizes, this is the Karen. Like, the Karen is coming through today. And sure enough, right, Karen, pushes through the doors, kind of like bumps through people. And some people are like, hey, and she's like, watch where you're going. Even though people were literally just standing there, and she pushed right through them. And she said, hey, watch where you're going. Even though they weren't moving, she was the only one moving. Whatever, right? She gets up to the cash register and she's like, I want the regular. And, Sarah's like, all right, ma'am, we'll have that in for you in no time. She's like, you guys didn't pre-make my, my order? You want me to wait around? And Sarah's like, ma'am, it'll take legitimately like a minute. And the Karen's like, I wanted it now. I come here every single day. I order the same thing and you can't have it ready right away. And in Sarah's head, she's like, bro, this is fast food. You're going to get it in a minute. We literally just heat it up. We put it in a microwave for 30 seconds. Like, what? Because the thing is, the Karen didn't come every single day at the same time. So I'm positive if they like heated it up beforehand, that, if they heated up 2 minutes before she got there, she would have came and she would have been like, this is too cold. Like, send it back or whatever, and made a bigger fuss. So anyways, Sarah, gives her the meal. She swipes the card. She's like, 0% tip for you. Kind of yelling out loud. And Sarah's like, okay. That's great, ma'am. You're cool. Big fan of you. You and I are tight. We go back, yep, loving you, bro. You're awesome. 10 out of 10 stars. If you're on Yelp, I would give you the full 5 stars. No, absolutely not. Sarah is not a fan of this woman, but, anyway, she goes back to sit, eat, whatever. And Sarah kind of just expects, okay, well, this woman's going to, go back. She's going to sit down. She's going to eat her meal, and she's going to leave. But she's watching. The Karen takes one bite. And she legitimately spits it out on the floor. Like, not even into her plate, not even into a napkin, all on the floor. And she's like, like, she's doing it extra disgusting. She's like having a drip all over the place. It is a disgusting scene. I'm not going to describe it anymore to you because I care about you guys and I don't want I don't want to put that image, I don't want to sear it too deeply, into you, right? It's a pretty bad image because she's not the most beautiful woman ever. For her soul, not just her outsides, but definitely her soul. Anyways, she spits it all over the place, drool and crumbs and crap is all over the place. It's disgusting, right? And she comes up to the front desk and Sarah's like, oh no, what do I have to deal with? And the Karen's like, this is ridiculous. This is outrageous. My food was not to my liking. And Sarah's like, oh, ma'am, like, how would you want us to do it differently? And she's like, I like salt now. And Sarah was like, well, you've never asked it to have extra salt on your burger or Egg McMuffin or whatever before. Like, this is new. She said, you should have known. You should have known that my changing flavors and tastes would like salt at my age. Sarah's like, ma'am, how what? No more back talk. No more back talk from you, young lady. You've had way too much of that recently. It's like the only thing I can get from you is sass, and that's why you continue to get a 0% tip. Ugh, give me a new burger. Give me a new Egg McMuffin now and put salt on it. And Sarah's like, okay. So, she goes back. She says, hey, can you salt this one? And they're like, okay. She hands it back, and she's like, Karen's like, I should really be asking for a full refund, but since I am such, a good person, not just a good person, a great, generous person, I will not ask for a refund this time. But next time, it better be salted to my liking. And there are no exceptions to that. No exceptions. Do you hear me? There are no exceptions to that. So anyways, she eats her food and she leaves. And Sarah is like, wow, she's worse today. But little did Sarah know that this woman was only going to get worse. Real quick, comment Karen down below if you made it this far into the video. And then also, if you want to support the channel more, sit down and watch a bunch of videos in a row, maybe after this or later on. And let me know in the comment section what you're doing while you're watching a bunch of these videos in a row. Are you, I don't know, playing video games, cleaning your room, drawing something, animating something? Do these videos help you go to sleep? Whatever is the case, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to try and be very active and heart a bunch of comments and replies saying thank you and all that good stuff. Anyways, let's get back to the story because the Karen continues to be completely insane and crazy. Just listen, right? So the next day rolls around and, Sarah at this point is like, okay, the Karen can't be much worse. There's no way the Karen is much worse than what she is now, right? And that's when the Karen pulls up to the drive-thru. Everything seems incredibly normal at first, right? Everything seems normal. The Karen orders, the regular, Sarah goes back and says, hey, can you put a little extra salt on it? And, whatever, right? Things are normal. Things are pretty regular. And that's when the Karen goes up to the front and, the Karen, Sarah hands her food and she's like, hey, can I have your card? And the Karen's like, yes. And like hands over her card, right? And unfortunately, the card declines. And Sarah's like, hey, ma'am, because I don't know, I'll try this again, but do you have another card? Karen's like, of course I don't have another card. This is my card. And she's like, I don't know, you might be having some bank problems because this card's declining. There might be some, I don't know, maybe someone, picked it up and got the numbers or something. Maybe you've been hacked, but, this card, it's declined, right? And that's when the Karen looks at her. And the Karen is like, my card didn't decline. You declined it on purpose. And Sarah's like, ma'am, why would I do that? It literally makes no sense. Karen's like, you've had it out for me since day one. You've preyed on my downfall. You've wanted to usurp my throne as queen of McDonald's. And Sarah's just like, oh my God, what? No, what are you saying? And the Karen's like, and this is how you do it. This is how you strike. You strike an old woman down by pretending to decline her card. And Sarah turns around the machine and says, look, I put the card in. And Sarah puts the card in. And she's like, see this error message? That just means it's, it's not working for some reason. I can't control this. You think I, hacked into the mainframe or something? My Matrix hacking skills? And, the Karen's like, I don't know, you probably just paid someone on the internet to do a bunch of hacking into stuff, and that's why my car's declining. And, Sarah's like, well, no, but ma'am, I need to, I don't know. I need another way of payment. This one isn't going to work. And that's when the Karen's like, I will not abide by such treachery. And Karen takes her entire meal and throws it at Sarah. So it's the drink, the 2 Egg McMuffins, bunch of fries or whatever, through the drive-thru window, completely covers Sarah's outfit, right? Everything gross, disgusting, boom, everywhere. Just kind of imagine, you drop your food, it splats everywhere. Imagine that all on Sarah's uniform, all in the drive-thru window. And that's when the Karen says, see you tomorrow with hopefully a better attitude. And the Karen drives off. And everyone at the McDonald's, right? The other workers stop what they're doing to turn around. The people eating inside, they stop eating, they look up, and everyone's looking around. And that's when Sarah's friend, aka the person who's mentored her, or was kind of not her manager, but the person that kind of told her the ropes and also told her about the Karen, said this Karen has been ridiculous. This Karen has tortured all of us for a long time, Sarah. But this is a whole new level. She didn't just order her food with a card that declined and then took it off and ate it. She assaulted one of our workers, right? And she trashed the restaurant. And and Sarah's like, I can't do this anymore. I can't work this minimum wage job that I really don't want to be doing if this is the treatment I'm going to have. It's bad enough without this Karen, but if I have to do this every single day, I just can't do this anymore. And, Sarah's mentor / friend was like, hold on a minute. I think we can do something about this. For the longest time, we wanted this woman gone off the premises and never allowed back, but we've never actually successfully been able to do that. But I think today might be a different day. I think today might be a different story. So basically, right, Sarah's friend, Sarah and every other worker at the McDonald's kind of put together a report. They went to the video cam footage, which records around the McDonald's restaurant, and they were able to download and cut the part that shows the Karen driving up. It shows her license plate. It's very clearly her. Then also shows her, assaulting one of the McDonald's workers, trashing the restaurant by just chucking all this stuff in there. And as well as a bunch of testimonials, they have a really good reason to basically ban this woman from the premises. So anyways, right, Sarah, her friend, and everyone else goes up to the manager, the manager comes in on Fridays, goes into his office and says, hey, we need someone banned from the McDonald's. And he's like, what? And they're like, yeah, we're not kidding. Here's what we have. They show him the file. They tell him everything that happened. And they're like, wow, that's totally fair. Okay. feel free to ban them. And so Sarah's like, Sarah's friend turns to Sarah and said, hey, Sarah, you've honestly received the worst out of all of us. We want to be there when you ban this woman, but we're gonna give you the honors. You can have the honors of telling her to her face that she is banned from the restaurant and can never come back, or she'll be trespassing on private property. And Sarah was a little nervous at what's going to happen, but she was also very excited because, trust me, this was good news for her. She was not a fan. She was not a fan of the Karen at all. So anyways, the next day comes around, and this is not any ordinary day because Sarah got out of bed excited to go to McDonald's. Because today, she was to lay the final strike on the Karen and end her coming to this McDonald's forever. So she gets up, gets in her car, drives over all happy. Life is good, man. Life is good. She gets in there, gets the window seat, and she sees through the drive-through cameras, the Karen pulls up. And the Karen orders the regular, right? The Karen's ordering the regular. And, Sarah says, all right, ma'am, that'll be up. Just come up to the screen. And Sarah turns around, and after turning off the mic, says, don't make the regular. And the people are like, okay, we got you. Because at first they're kind of like, wait, what? Don't make the food? It's not the opposite of what we're supposed to do. Then they're like, oh, yeah, it's the Karen. Okay, got you. Sure enough, the Karen pulls up, and, Sarah goes up there and just looks at her. And the Karen's like, why don't you have my food ready now? I thought I taught you a lesson yesterday about what would happen if you were unfair to me. And Sarah's like, me? Unfair to you? Ma'am, I have been polite every single day when you've come in here and been nothing but not polite. You've been cruel. You've been and the Karen's like, what is this back talk? Enough of this back talk. You will never get a tip from me ever. And Sarah's like, yes, I don't think I will ever get a tip from you ever. And Sarah says, ma'am, with my great honor, and I am happy to say this, from the manager of this restaurant, you are officially banned from this McDonald's. And if you return to the premises, you will be trespassing on private property, and we will call the police. And the Karen looks at her and just laughs, starts laughing maniacally. And then after tearing up from her laughter, it's like, you can't ban me. This is hilarious. I've been coming here for the last 5 years. And then the other person, Sarah's friend, comes into the window, is like, ma'am, and you have been cruel to us. You've been a menace to us for the last 5 years. And there's been no reason for us to really be able to ban you besides just being terrible to all of us. But now, yesterday, you both trashed our restaurant and assaulted one of our employees, and points to Sarah, and we have it on video. We went to the manager, and it's official. You're banned. And if you ever return, we will call the police, and they will come and kick you out. And the Karen's like, this is outrageous. You don't know my power. You don't know my connections and my Facebook groups. No one will ever eat at this McDonald's ever again. And the Karen storms off. And let me just say that, yes, people continue to eat at the McDonald's. But no, the Karen never returned. And while, Sarah had a few more unpleasant experiences, she never had an experience as unpleasant as that Karen ever again while she worked at that McDonald's.
Click on the video on screen right now. I know you'll enjoy it. Just click it. Do it.